Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This is episode 4 of my series How to Junk Journal. I am Marissa and this is my papers, paints and pens. So if you haven't watched my previous videos of this junk journal series, you can go and watch them if you like. This is episode 4. In episode 1 we spoke about think about what you want to do with your junk journal. In episode 2, what to use in a signature. In episode 3, what to use for your cover. And in episode 4, we have a dangerous episode. I call this a dangerous episode. I think this is very dangerous for me to speak about this, but title is Collect Things to Use. And I said it like very quietly, collect things. Okay, let me take a deep breath. And why do I say it's very dangerous? Well, because I think this happens in every art. I mean, it happened when I was in scrapbooking. I collected everything, and I bought everything, and I think we just can't help ourselves. I know that I've mentioned in a lot of my videos, don't buy everything you see. Don't go out and buy everything. Don't and everyone tells you exactly the same thing. Don't buy everything you see. If you need one, don't buy 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But it's just so hard for us. I know it's so hard for us not to do this. So that's why I'm going to do a video about it. And in junk journaling, especially in junk journaling, you will find that many things that you will receive, that you will buy, that you will start collecting are actually things that I consider are actually things that I think I am maybe recycling. All right, so there are a lot of things like the old books, the old letters, tickets, things that people would throw away. We will recycle them. So I like to think of it that basically I'm giving it a life it never had. All right, so if imagine an old book, it was just sitting there on someone's shelf collecting dust, maybe even little insects eating it away, and when we get hold of something like that, we transform it, we give it another life, we recycle. So that's actually a good thing. All right, so that is actually a good thing. One advice that I can give you, one of the advices, but a good advice that I can give you is, since you are going to collect things, I can't stop you from doing that. I can't stop myself, so how am I going to stop someone else? So a good advice would be, whatever you get, whatever you buy, whatever you receive, get it having in mind that you're going to use it. All right? Use what you get. All right? Don't hoard it. Don't leave it in the drawer. Don't leave it in the shelf. Don't leave it, because that's basically, then you're not recycling. Then you're not doing you're not recycling. If an old book was sitting on someone else's shelf for years and years and decades, collecting dust, you're not going to just put it on your shelf doing exactly the same thing. It's just so unfair on the book and on whatever else you get. So my advice is, whatever you get, use it. If you are going to get a whole bunch of old letters, make sure that imagine you see 100 old letters, and you want all of them. You will really want all of them. But will you be able to use all of them? No. So don't get all of them. Get 20. Maybe 30. Okay, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Try not to overdo it. All right, because you will collect things, and it's like I say, I can't stop myself. How am I going to stop you? And imagine you actually do get things. You do get the 100 letters. You do get the 100 old letters. You saw them, and you just couldn't stop yourself. You couldn't control yourself, because it's very, 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 very hard. And you did get the 100 old letters because they were beautifully handwritten, because they had a stamp, because they had an envelope, because they were old. There are so many reasons, so many poor reasons. All right. And you get those 100, and you only use 20 or 30 in junk journaling in the creation of your junk journal. And the rest of those 70 sit in a drawer or in a bag or somewhere nice and closed up. If you see it sits there for a very long time, the next advice I have for you is just don't let it sit there. Give it away. Swap it if you want. It's so unfair that we get things, or that we buy things that sat for decades in someone's wardrobe, in someone's drawer, in someone's shelf, and it comes to our home and it just sits there all, it sits there the same. You're not giving it another life. You're not using it. You're not recycling it. So if I do, well, I try to do that as much as I can. If I see that I get a lot, and I do get a lot of things, I'll show you my, just after this, I will show you what I have. And I have received a lot of things. And I have given away so many things. I have swapped so many things. I have also sold a lot, but I have sold maybe 1/3 of what I have given away or swapped. All right. So I don't like it sitting in my drawers. And that's one of the things that I think that's very important. If you're going to get what you get, if you're going to collect a whole bunch of things, don't let it sit in your drawers. Don't let it, just sit there. If you can't use it, give it away. Swap it for something else. I mean, I know I find a lot of old letters, but someone else maybe in the States doesn't find a whole bunch of old letters. I can swap that, or I can sell it, or I can give it away. Something. Just don't let it sit in your drawer. Another thing is that before I was talking about the 100 letters, if you do get those 100 letters, all right, you get them today. You only use 30, and the rest of the 70 sit in your drawer. Next year, all right, you will find another 100 letters, and you will want those 100 letters because they are different. They're different color, they're just different. So that's why, and you will get them, just by the way. We just can't control ourselves. I mean, we are so weak. Oh, wow. But this is what, it's like fashion. If you get a nice handbag this season, it won't be in fashion next season, and you won't even use that handbag next year. So why bother getting those 100 letters? All right? You see what I mean? You will want more and more and more, because there's always a lot of things that we can find. So that's one thing that helps me control my collector's fever, the fever of just buying everything. It helps me control myself. It helps me think a little bit. And if I do get those 100, I will definitely give them away, because I know I will find more the next month or the next season or the next year. All right, there's always a lot out there. So that's why I don't like things sitting in my drawers. I either use them or I just, sell them, give them away, swap them, whatever. Because I know that in a few months' time I will get more. There's so much out there. Oh, anyway, so let's just take a sneak peek of my stuff. What do you say? Okay, so now I'm holding my camera, so I apologize if this is very shaky. Now, before I start opening my drawers, all right, those are my drawers, let me just show you the list. Now, as usual, if I forget anything that there's a lot of things that I'm going to forget, please just write in the comments down below and leave the things that you collect, because what I collect is maybe not the same as what you collect. So anyway, so what can we collect for our junk journal process? Photos. All right, photos can be colored photos, they can be black and white photos. They can be lace and trims, clothes tags, stamps, the ones that you put on the envelopes, tea bags, postcards, books, envelopes, fabrics, old letters, old documents, printables. There's a lovely printables out there that you can print. Maps, papers, old or new, you name it. All right, basically everything's almost paper here. All right, so let's just go. Now, on top of you, I have like miscellaneous things, or like paper pads that are like invoice thingies. All right, they're blank and empty. I have a whole bunch of them. All right, a whole bunch of them in there. And yeah, I have diverse. This is all in Portuguese. Let's open that up. Here I have my old photos. All right, old photos. I have some tickets in this one here, and envelopes here. Some are tea dyed, coffee dyed, etc., etc. And then I have my old letters as well here. Handwritten letters with some envelopes. Right, there they are. And I do have candles in my, scented candles in my drawers so that they don't smell too much like, that awful smell that papers can sometimes bring if you buy an old thing. So these are my old letters. Some of them will still come with the envelopes with the stamp, etc. Sorry, this plastic bag here. All right, next drawer. Oh, and this is just like a book ticket that I have. All right, next drawer is just supposed to be magazines, but something else kind of took over. All right. And these are where I have my handwritten invoices from 1970s, 1940s. All right, so this is all, just by the way, in here it was all given. All right, I work for 2 companies, and I kind of remembered and offered to clean out their what we call the dead files. And the dead files are normally files that you have sitting in the company for over maybe a decade, 2 decades actually. Sometimes the law in the country says that you must keep the files for 12 years and then you can throw them away. And in many times, well, in these 2 companies that I worked for, there's always that little section that everyone forgets about. And these papers have been there since the 1970s. Right, and then here we have timbrados, which is basically those papers that are like these papers. I don't know how you call them in English, but they're already like filled out. Not filled out, they're blanks, but they're like these type of papers. They're already ready to be filled in, which is also kind of got invaded by something else. More invoices. These are actually bought in a market. I bought these in a market. These are from a municipality town. The water bill, and I have a bunch of things here. And this drawer, most of the things that are in this drawer I bought. Sorry, my children are in the background. Sorry about that, my children are not home. This quarantine thing is really driving us all crazy. But anyway, have to entertain themselves somehow. This is from a lawyer's office. Got these ones from an old market. And oh, those are pins, very vintage pins, bicycles on them. Got that from one of the companies I work for, cleaning out their stuff. It's a whole bunch of things. All right. Okay. And then what next I have? Livros. Livros is books. Books. These are books. Okay, now this is really books. My old books. These are basically motorbikes and car books. But they're nice and old. All right. Like newspapers. Anyway, another candle in there. And then I have documents that were registered by hand. Now, this is one that actually went up into those because there were just so much. These I found in a market. Wonderful. These are fire brigade stuff. And here's like memorandums, nice green ones that I found as well. And more things in there. And that one is also registered by hand, so more of the documents that are just registered by hand. Got loads of these ones as well. And these are actually nice books. These are from the company I work for. They had loads of them. And actually let me take some home. I did ask for them. And they said yes, I could take them home. And, alright, so that's my collection of things in this drawer. All right, over on this side I have a square that's just for books, an old book paper. And oh, sorry about that dust there. The rule that I have here is if it gets filled up, I do not buy any more books. It's like almost full up. Can't buy any more books. And I have some at the back there. Let me just take this out. I've got some there in the back. You see those small ones? I've got some of those there. Sorry, these are heavy. And that's my old book collection. Alright, lovely covers for transforming these into, or using the covers. I spoke about this in episode 3, using old books or books, to use as the covers. Take them apart and use the covers to do the junk journals. That's most probably what I'll be doing with these ones. These are just nice old books. They had lovely vintage papers, and that is like a ledger book. This one's new, it's not brown or anything, so I need to tea dye or coffee dye that one. Alright, next. Okay, so in this cupboard I have like miscellaneous paper and filler paper. I have some more of the books that those vintage documents that I got from the companies I work for. Those are down there. They didn't fit in my drawers. Ledger, accountancy, stock taking paper right there. And this all here is filler paper. That round one and that one there, it's all filler paper, and that one's filler paper as well. The ones that you get from the shoe boxes, your handbags, etc. Up there I have specialty paper, like Japanese or Chinese newspapers, etc. I have a lot of envelopes here that I have received from my swaps. Going to definitely use those. well, I kept them. They're so nice and decorated, used to use in my junk journals as a page. And that's this section. Up there you can see my collection of crocheted pieces. That's an old, very old, very old collection of magazines from 1885. Yes, I have taken that apart. That's just another papers that I found in the dead archives from my companies that I work for. And I brought them home because they're nice and brown. Alright. Shoe boxes are filled with, hold on, let me show you. Okay, so this shoe box, well, not a shoe box, it's a tiny box. It's filled with some nice clothes. This I actually got in a swap. Very nice. Portuguese lady gave me all these in a swap. They're very nice. And then I think I've down here some tea bag. Here we go, tea bags. Those are mine. Tea bags that I just kept. You know, we keep everything. We collect everything. Alright. And then back here I have some envelopes. Nice vintage envelopes. The ones with the bicycle. Let me show you these envelopes. Right. These envelopes. And then in this shoebox I have some postcards. And I have a whole bunch of booklet tickets. And that's it. And some stickers as well. Okay, and then I have these little tubs. Okay, I have two little tubs where I keep those smaller little items like stamps, printables, labels, die cuts, and cutouts, butterflies, animals, flowers, and printable thingies, and blah 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 blah. They're all the small little ones I keep in these little boxes. Alright, and that's my collection. Well, that is my collection. I did not show you every single thing I collect. No, I did not. But then this video would just take an hour. So, but that's basically my favorite things that I've just showed you, the things that I collect. Anyway, so if I have left anything out that you collect, please write them down in the comments, and I would love to get back to you and just, you know, see what you collect and see if I can collect them too. I will definitely try to control myself. All right, thanks for watching and see you later.